Hey guys, Mika here, and I'm bringing you a fantastic looking and sounding and playing Kotaro tenor size custom ukulele. And this ukulele boasts some really nice curly coil, not only here on the front, but look at that piece of coil on the back. Beautiful curly coil, nice tight grains, wide but tight grains, featuring some sapwood here in the middle. And what's really cool is that when you have sapwood, or just with the instruments that I played over the years, when you have sapwood on, like, coil or curly coil, usually it'll have a little tip here at the bottom, might have a little bit like here at the top. But with this one, you have like two distinct pieces of the sapwood here on the top and here in the middle. And then I'm sure that if the fretboard wasn't here, you would have, again, because these are book matching on the back and the fronts. If the fretboard wasn't here, I'm sure that sapwood would be right here, but you can clearly see it down there, just like how you see the same right here. They're pretty much matching twins. And then also we have the curly coil here on the sides as well. And aesthetically, it's paired really nicely because it matches really nicely with just the overall color of the brownness and the caramel golden brownness of the curly coil. It also matches the sapwood here on the front and the back, but we have mango binding here on the top and then here on the back as well. We have wood purfling here that surrounds the Powell abalone shell around the outside of the ukulele, and then even around the rosette here, around the sound hole. We have Macassar ebony here on the bridge, and then we have Gaboon ebony here on the fretboard, as well as Gaboon ebony here on the back plate of the headstock. And then as well on the fretboard, we have a radius fretboard. Yep, you can go ahead and see that. And for me personally, I prefer having a radius fretboard because what the radius fretboard does is that instead of having a flat fretboard, you have a slight curvature with the angle of how the fretboard is shaped. And for me, when I were to take my hand and shake my hand and relax, your fingers like to naturally curl when you just relax your hand, versus to make your fingers straight like this, you have to put tension in your hand. So with the radius fretboard, it kind of acts as one of those, like, you get to be very natural with how you kind of have your fingers when you shake your hand and relax them. So when you take that and then place, trying to make a bar chord on the radius fretboard, it just feels right. So that's why I like to play with radius fretboards if I can, or I do prefer playing with them. And I think it does make a slight difference in terms of doing the bar chords or just holding any kind of chords on the ukulele. Alongside on the fretboard here, just like we have the mango binding on the top and the back, we also have it here on the sides of the fretboard right here. And then we have your fret markers here. We have black dots, and it looks like brass. There's like a slight brass color around the black dots right here on the side as your fret markers. So really cool. It kind of, again, matches along with just the overall kind of brown theme that we have going on with all the curly coil and then the mango on this instrument. We have a mahogany neck satin finish. And then here on the top of the headstock right here, we have really nice curly coil again. And then we have the KG logo right here in the middle of the headstock on the top. And then some of the absolute best tuners that you can put on a ukulele. These are Waverly tuners. Really great in terms of how easy and accurate it is to turn and tune your instrument. It's paired nicely with the gold and the silver tuning pegs, and then or the machinery here, the gear tuners. And then right here on the pegs itself, we have like snakewood button tuners. Again, matching that brown theme with the koa here on this instrument. And then even here on the heel of the instrument right here, we have more of that mango-ness, craziness, mango-ness right here. Yeah, so all around, it's a fantastically looking instrument. It's really pretty. It's not too blingy. There's not too much happening. I like to call this a musician's instrument because it's beautiful with its simplicity in terms of, for me personally, I kind of just want abalone on the outsides and on the rosette, and that's it. And then just let the wood speak for itself, especially like on the back. Just let the natural beauty of the curly coil speak for itself. It's just so beautiful, nice black, Gaboon ebony here, nothing on the fretboard, and then just curly coil headstock. Really clean instrument. Nothing is distracting. As a player myself, when I look at this, there's nothing distracting about it, but it's really clean. Again, just a really beautiful instrument. Now, getting into the sound, that's the really exciting part, is that this Kotaro ukulele sounds really fantastic. And it even, for me personally, it lines up with my kind of overall sound that I want to hear in an ukulele, which is, having a lot of clarity, having a lot of sustain, having a lot of warmth. Just me being kind of classically trained, I want to hear being able to hear every single note played, whether I'm playing on the A string or the C string or even the low G, even though I'm not really a low G player. But every single note on every single string is super clean, super pronounced. The note separation, meaning every note that you play on each string and you play it in succession with one another. Nothing gets muddied out with one another. Everything's just very crisp. You can hear every single note really cleanly. Even up here on the 10, 10, 10, 10, 12. Super clean. Or 10, 12, 10, 12. As you can see, I walked down the whole fretboard with all these kind of crazier jazz chords. Super clean. And one of my favorite things about this instrument is not only the warmth and the actual quality of the tone that you get, you know, just how the instrument sounds, is how the sustain reacts with the overall tone and the warmth of this. So with me, I personally like to look at like how well the sustain is of an instrument. So if I play this, you know, open C chord with the D note, or the open C chord with the G, or C major 7, you can just hear how the instrument it just takes a while for it to decay. And the kind of analogy that I like to, or the picture I like to paint in your guys' head is like, maybe not a pretty one, but let's say you kind of like, you jump in the ocean and it's like a 10-foot drop, and you drop and you just kind of boop, like within 1 second you're gonna land in the water. When you play an instrument like this, it's almost like you jump off the cliff and then there's like 3 parachutes on you, and it takes you like 10 seconds to get to the water. It's just like, come on, I'm almost there. And that's kind of how I feel like when I play like a nice open chord. It just takes so long for the sound to kind of like descend into like nothing, into silence. It almost just reminds you of when you like jump off into the water and you're just like, you want to get there, but it's like, nope, you just gotta wait till you get there. And that's really what I get. The kind of quality of the sustain on this instrument is really, really excellent. Even up here on the, oh my gosh, it's just really, it's so clean, but the sustain, absolutely beautiful on this instrument. Yeah, this is my kind of instrument. Whether you're doing fingerstyle, which is what I love to do. So it's just really fun to play. And the playability of this too, which is something really important to talk about, is that you don't really have to press hard to play this ukulele. So for those of you who might have like arthritis, for those of you who might, you know, just, you know, I like to make the same joke all the time and say I have girly hands. So meaning like I can't press hard all the time because my hands are just gonna hurt. So I always like my action, meaning how far is the strings above the fret wire or the frets. How high is it? I always like to have it as low as possible without it buzzing. And the way this ukulele is set up is it's done really well. It feels really good. I don't have to press hard to play a bar chord. It feels really nice. Meaning the playability of this instrument is really good, which means you can play it for a long time, especially with this kind of sound quality you get. So clean. So here is a sound sample on this wonderful instrument, and let's see where this instrument takes me, and I'll see you on the other side. Such a pleasure to play. Really, really nice. So here's what this ukulele would sound like with a bit of strawberry.